as you might expect, Nigel Farage getting both barrels from the likes of LBC and Sky over the riot story. Let's take a look reluctantly at a clip from James O'Brien on LBC this past week, where he talks specifically about Nigel Farage and so-called two-tier policing. Take a look.
Farage says something the racists love. They know it's not true. He certainly knows it's not true, but they don't care. The racists love it. And then some complete Charlie on Sky News stops the Metropolitan Police Commissioner and asks a variation on the question, when did you stop beating your wife? You ask someone, are you going to stop two-tier policing, which doesn't exist? Then you are asking a question based on the premise that it does. Absolutely appalling.
So James O'Brien works for Global. Global is by and large owned by Ashley Tabor. People say to me he's a decent enough guy, £100 million apartment in Harrods. Things have gone rather well. His father owns every other Derby winner for about the last 7 years. Another clever guy. What the point about that diatribe, which you may find attractive, is that pointing that Farage is responsible, Farage is a racist, Farage is this, Farage is that. I've known Farage 30 years, never said to me or to anybody one single thing which could be construed as racism. Now, the effect, though, of that kind of attack, constantly blaming him for him, is that today Farage is a very frightened guy and has had to have multiple security guards paid for by the Home Office, right, in order to protect himself, right? And I have never seen, I actually saw Nigel last night. He looked extremely concerned. This is not something which you can just shrug your shoulders at. Why do I say that? If you want to think about what people do on the other side of this argument, the other side of Nigel's argument is, of course, Manchester Arena bombing, okay? So there are people out there who are under the radar, or may even be on the security radar, but actually have managed to avoid being picked up, right, who will do horrible things. And it is not helped by that kind of stuff. So I'd be grateful if Mr. Tabor ignored the audience size, which I'm sure James O'Brien gets, right, and in a way manages to have, quotes, free speech in a way that GB News is not allowed. Free speech, by the way. But I would ask him to bear in mind what the price of that free speech might be.
I mean, just in the last few years, we've had Nigel's an MP now. Nigel Farage is an MP. Yeah. So we've had Joe Cox and David Amess.
We have.
I mean, he was attacked. He had milkshake thrown on him during the election campaign. That could have been anything.
It could have been. I totally agree. And of course, when Joe Brand made the gag about why did they bother with milkshake on a previous occasion, why didn't they try it with battery acid? Right. All that you got from the BBC was, oh, well, the audience will understand that was a joke. Right. There are some very crazy people out there, Miss Brand. Yeah, you might be one of them, I don't know, who might take that kind of indication that they would get a position in society or a position in the hereafter that would put them in better shape than they are right now. So these are dangerous moments. So I'd ask Mr. Tabor if, when he comes out of his £100 million apartment, whether he might think that some of the stuff goes over the top. I don't know who handles it. O'Brien will be very pleased at this publicity. But I think the lives of our politicians, and I know he personally was very concerned about Joe Cox, would he also be concerned about anything that happened to Nigel Farage? Or would he say, well, do you know what I mean?
Would you get the government involved in this, or is it just a case of telling these people, is there a free speech protection element to this that we still need to
think the guy he's just got to think to himself, is anything I'm saying likely to lead to something else happening?
Yes.
And honestly, having seen Nigel, as I said, he was not relaxed and shrugging his shoulders at it. When you are surrounded by security people, this is a very worrying moment. I know when I was at Wapping, where about 6,000 or 8,000 people used to gather most nights during the dispute. And when I used to come out in my car, I used to have 3 SAS guys in there. bloody hell, I thought this was good like this. So what used to happen was when they saw my car, because they recognized either number plate or there was a massive roar and a surge. At that, I wound down the old window. Down comes the window, and I went like that. At that, they went absolutely effing mad. Anyway, that was great. I enjoyed doing that. It was the highlight of the day. It used to happen about 9:30, 9:45 at night when I was heading home after the paper was all done and dusted. Anyway, the phone goes one day, and it's old Murdoch. Yeah, Kelvin, how's it all going? Yeah, not too bad. I hear you've been aggravating the strikers. Well, they have been aggravating me, to be honest with you. Look, I'm not interested in your bloody views. Pack it up. Bang, put down the phone. So I stopped doing that,
So you learned your lesson.
I did learn my lesson.
Well, for a while anyway.
Yeah, I did, yeah. Until finally I was forced to leave. Get out and stay out. Okay, that's it for today's show. If you enjoyed it, subscribe. There's going to be a lot more of this. Hang on to your hats.